Hello, my first grade classes. I hope you're all doing well. I miss you all very, very much. I miss doing my Zoom classes with you because I'm able to see you that way. But hopefully soon we can figure out something. I'm going to try to see how Google Meet can work, but we'll figure it out. Hope you all had a great weekend. I hope that you all enjoyed the virtual field trips we had last week. I thought it was so much fun. I enjoyed them very much. I also want to thank you all who responded to me with the different questions I had for you every day. I know we didn't have the normal social studies lessons and assignments last week, but I thought it was fun to hear all of you reach out to me and send me pictures about your favorite activity or part of the trip, or things you saw or your STEM projects that you did. I really, really enjoyed reading about that and seeing your pictures that you sent me. So I really appreciate you guys all including me with that. What I thought we would do this first day is one of the things I wanted to hopefully see if I could do that with you in class, but unfortunately I couldn't. So I figured that this is something you guys can still do at home, is a government leaders matching game. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our government leaders. I know in assignment 5 and 6, we learned about our community and why communities need rules and laws. We also did a Venn diagram and we figured out how laws and rules can be similar, and how obviously laws and rules are different. So now for assignment 7 is explaining our government leaders and how they help the community. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the different types of governments that we have, and how these leaders are elected and who are typical leaders in these different types of governments, right? So, the leaders we have for our country are the president and the vice president. There's leaders in our communities and there's leaders in our state. So again, we have 3 different types of governments. There's local, state, and national. And our LO for today is that you can explain who the government leaders are and how they help our community. So I'm going to start by reviewing a little bit of what I wrote in the assignment that I posted earlier today. Our lesson on government leaders is, again, as I just mentioned, there's 3 different levels of government. There's local, state, and national. And they exist because they create and they enforce the laws and they help resolve the conflicts. In the last lesson, we learned, like I said, about rules and laws and how they are important in our community and in our country. The elected leaders of our country, our state, and the city, they help people keep these rules and laws. The elected leaders that we elect when we vote often have the same feelings about the rules and the laws that we do. That is why we vote for them, right? We vote for them because we feel that they can do the job to keep us safe, to keep us safe, to help us follow the rules and the laws. But we don't elect all leaders. There's leaders also in schools, like that are hired. They're leaders that, these are people who go and apply for a position as a leadership, in a leadership position as a leader, and they get hired and they interview for the position. But when they get hired, during their interview, they're proving to the person who's hiring them that they can do the job and why can they do the job and what abilities do they have and what skills do they have and how can they make things better in a community or in an environment, right? So some people are hired, like the principal of a school, and some are volunteers, like someone who leads a committee, someone who coaches a little league team, someone who coaches like a little league team in baseball. They are hired as a leader of that little league team because they feel they probably know the sport very well and they want to give that service back. They want to be able to volunteer and give their time back and say, I want to be a leader of this community and a leader of this baseball team so that I can help these children grow and develop into the sport that they love to play. So those are some people that volunteer their time as a leader to help others, right? And there's others that organize neighborhood block parties. I actually am a leader on my block here where I live because I organize the block party here in my block, and I have other members of my community who help me, but I'm the one who actually runs the whole thing. I contact the board to get the permit. I hire all the fun activities for the block. And again, I volunteer my time because I don't get paid, right? So I'm a leader of that whole community planning, the block party. So there's different leaders also that are hired or volunteered, but there's leaders in our governments that we elect because we feel that they can do the right job to help us follow these rules and laws. So now let's think about the leaders of our country and our local community. So let's think about our school. Let's think about first about our leader. Who is the leader of our school? It's Mrs. McCann, right? She is the principal and she's the leader of our school. And she sets the rules and the laws to keep our school safe and to create an environment for learning. So that is her job, right? Her job is to make sure that we're all doing well in school. The students are learning. They're following the right curriculum. They're following the rules and the laws to keep safe, to be good citizens of a school community, and the teachers to be able to help the students learn and become better individuals as they grow, right? So that's Mrs. McCann's job. Her job is to make sure that the school runs smoothly, with rules and laws that she's put in place that we all must follow, right? We have to respect others. And those were all different rights and responsibilities that I reviewed with you in previous lessons, on how to be a good citizen, right? The leader of our country is President Donald Trump. Our state leader is the governor, Andrew Cuomo. And our local leader is the mayor, Bill de Blasio, right? And I think I have a typo on my page for Andrew Cuomo. I forgot the O at the end of the M, so I apologize for that. But anyways, it is Andrew Cuomo, and I forgot to just put the O at the end for that. So what we're learning this week is about our leaders and how they help enforce the rules and the laws in the community. And there's different levels of government, right? Like I said earlier, and they all have many different parts that make them work. They each have a leader. All of them are responsible for protecting our rights, writing the new laws to keep us safe and free, and also to make sure that we follow the laws that we already have, right? So that's what each government does with their leaders. So what I did is I gave you pictures of our different leaders and what they do. And then I asked you some questions, right? So some of the first one was, this is the mayor of New York City. So the mayor, which is Bill de Blasio of New York City, works to keep the citizens in the city safe, makes the laws, and makes sure that the laws are followed. So we are considered a local government right here in New York City. And this government takes care of the community that we live in, which is in New York City, which is the 5 boroughs of New York City, right? We learned about that as well, about the maps. It's Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, Manhattan, and the Bronx. And so the mayor is responsible for making sure that all the 5 boroughs in New York City are well taken care of, and that we're following the rules, and that we're safe, and that we have what we need to be able to move forward and move ahead on our daily lives, right? So that is what a mayor does. So one of the questions I asked you was if you can think about some responsibilities on your own that you know that the mayor has, and just write down like 3 jobs that you can think of for the mayor, okay? Then I also talked about the governor, and the governor of New York State, again, like I said, is Andrew Cuomo. And the governor works to keep the citizens in the whole state safe. He makes the laws and makes sure that the laws are followed. But he governs the entire New York State, right? So in New York State, there's places upstate, like further up north, right? New York State is not just only New York City. It's Poughkeepsie, Harriman, Goshen. These are all different places of New York State that he governs, right? Albany is the capital of New York State, right? So these are all the different cities of New York State that Governor Cuomo is responsible for, and he makes sure that all of New York State is well taken care of and has everything that they need to be able to survive, and especially in difficult situations like we are in right now as well. You know, they're the ones who make the rules about, the schools and city jobs, etc. Right? So he runs the entire New York State government. So for question 2, I wanted you guys to think of some responsibilities that the governor has and to write down 3 jobs that you can think of on your own. And then the third one is the national government. So these are the 3 governments. So the mayor is the local government. The governor is the state government. And the president in the vice president is the national government, right? And the national government is the highest level of government that they can be in the whole country because they take care of the whole entire country. And that is the entire United States, right? So it's President Donald Trump and Vice President Mike Pence, and they are the leaders, and they're the ones who work together to keep the citizens in the entire country safe in all the states of the United States of America, right? And they make sure that all the laws are followed. They also speak with leaders from all over the world to help solve any problems that we have with the world. So I wanted you to think of some responsibilities that you can think of that the president and the vice president have together and write down 3 jobs on your own. I gave you some vocabulary words to look at. There was a lot for this lesson. It explains to you about local government, state government, national government, governor, the president, vice president, mayor, rights, rules. So there's many other different things that I gave you to review. But so I wanted you to answer these 3 questions, and then I thought it would be fun for you guys to play a game at home. So I gave you some pictures of some government clue cards. So there are pictures like this, right? There are these pictures here. And what I wanted you to do is you're going to match a picture with a clue card. So for example, if I look at this community picture here, right, which is the very first picture, I am going to try to match that with a community rule card, right, that has a clue here that talks about a community. So the first one was community, right? That picture. And what I did here is I picked this clue card because it matches with this. What is a community? A community is a place where people work and live, right? So if I look at that community picture, I am matching it with that clue card. So again, this is a community, right? And you see homes and buildings and cars, etc. You're matching that to this community card, to the community clue card, right? So that is what you're going to do. And I thought that would be nice for you guys to do that at home. So you're going to, the object of the game is that you're going to lay the pictures out on the table, face up. And then you're going to guess the picture that matches the clue. Okay, so that's what you're going to do. You're going to take the picture that matches the clue and you're just going to play the game at home. If I get a chance to see you guys live this week, then maybe we can do it together. And I can ask you guys some questions. And I can ask you to pick a picture and then match it with the clue for me. Okay? If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'm going to try to come up with something else fun to do. Our next activity is kind of interactive. So I want to try to figure out how I can do it. It's about voting for a community leader. So I want to see what we can do. So I'm going to come up with something fun, you know, like it's like a campaign process. Like we have to do a campaign and drawing a picture. So we'll see what we do for the next activity for this week. But I'll keep you posted on the next assignment. For now, just work on this one. And I'll post the next assignment around Wednesday or so. Okay? I hope you all have a great afternoon and a great evening and a great week. And I will be in touch with you throughout the week. Bye, my first grade classes. I miss you all. Bye.